Coming from the Truspace, we ain't answer type neighbors. I don't give a fuck what you say. Found the universal coochie, planting seeds and birds fruit. Now I'm really looking juicy. Welcome to the Truspace. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the Truspace. Welcome to the Truspace. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the Truspace.
Welcome to Truspace. I'm your astrology open book, and this is my partner.
Hey guys, welcome back to Truspace. This is Harith.
Yep, and this is your weekly horoscope. So let's get into it. Looking at Monday, starting out the week, coming off of that full moon in Libra energy. Very intense considering all the things that had happened in Aries season 2. And just battling with that sun exaltation, and then what, the moon doesn't fall in Libra, but it's definitely blind, and it's crazy. Like, that's literally the card for moon in Libra in tarot. It's the person with the headband, but then Aries is really about the vision. So you can see how and seeing, the first sight. So you can see how that energy really creates that scene. How do you think that this had hit us?
I like the way you described it because Libra opposed Cancer, the fourth house. So based off that square, that tension, you could see how Libra would allow you to deal with your family, not your family, but deal with relationship, marriages, friendship more intensely as opposed to your family, your domestic issues, your fourth house, a relationship, but also yet this entire opposition to the sun exaltation and Carrion being in Aries, and then Mercury went through Aries, really forcing you to go to war to initiate this new way of seeing and feeling about this vision, imagination that you want to give birth to, even though it makes you very aggressive, which we need that aggression to start the year in a very impactful way. And the moon in Libra is bringing that to equilibrium so you don't be too aggressive, just to add a sense of the whole ma'at, put on your heart and your feather in the scale of justice, yo.
Yeah, real talk. And if you're on the good side of this energy and you're planting good seeds, like as opposed to, say, the new moon that had happened 2 weeks ago, and you had planted the right seeds based off of you as an individual and your personal desires. So as it comes into the full moon being in Libra, and now other people, now you happen to be more diplomatic or sharing with that energy, where you're starting to have to break bread with other people, they get less into the way, or it's easier to balance your emotions when you're dealing with other people, because you had already planted the seed of, I am this is what I am, and this is the vision, this is what I want, this is my desire. So when niggas are coming up to you trying to spark the conversation, Cardinal Libra, they already know not to talk about that shit. Or they already know if they talk about that shit that some shit's about to come up. So it's like, it doesn't go too far to a point where it's catastrophic if you have been planting those seeds. But imagine you haven't been planting those seeds, and you didn't make your desires known. You didn't declare that this is what I am. And then the full moon in Libra comes, all your relationships gonna fucking be pulling you away, making you disregard yourself, and it'll be frustrating. You find yourself in that situation where you're angry about an obligation or a relationship, or about something that somebody else had said or had done, and you're angry and you're frustrated, but you didn't make it yourself known. You didn't make your desires known. You didn't do any of that. You didn't express that when you had the chance. So it's like, really can teeter-totter with other people start coming in and fucking up your plans, start fucking up what you were trying to start and commence, based off of esoteric contracts and relationships, and wanting to keep the peace, having to go in balance. Maybe you had made an agreement with this person beforehand, disregarding this I am, that already went against it, or had the possibility to, and now it came to come and collect, and it's here drawing you away from that initial vision that you had of yourself. making it harder. So it's really
Mhm.
challenging that
Mhm.
balance of how you can balance
Mhm.
yourself with the external world.
The full moon in Libra, this is us experiencing the third quarter of this moon cycle that started
Mhm.
in Aries. So we're like right now, we're in the let go sequence, the fall season, where we gonna take this new individuality, this new form of self that we gave birth to, and first quarter, the spring, and then the second quarter, the summer. Right now, we're in the third quarter. Right now, we're gonna take it and see can we take this individuality and connect it with the whole collective, because this
Mhm.
is us exiting the below horizon sign into the above horizon sign, and this is going to be the real test for us to get ready to go into Capricorn, because Saturn is exalted in Libra, which was our finished initial meeting with Grandpa. Grandpa is, all right, this new individuality, are you gonna make it realistic? Is it gonna be practical? Is it gonna benefit the entire society, or is it gonna destroy the entire society, or is it gonna make sense at all? So we need that first, that feather of balance, so we could balance ourselves, our brain and nervous system, with the energy of Libra.
Mhm. Yeah, real talk. Because yeah, if you don't have the friendships, the partnerships, or the ability to extend out your hand, as the ability to manage your energy with other people, when you start getting to the collective mindset of Capricorn and really try and get business going,
Mhm.
you won't be able
Mhm.
to do anything. Imagine Capricorn mindset. Imagine being business oriented and being serious and bringing reality together without accounting
Mhm.
for other people. You're just gonna you're gonna get flunked out. A whole bunch of shit's gonna
Mhm.
come. Even if you're strong and stable, you know your desire,
Mhm.
you know your vision. You're not considering all
Mhm.
of these obstacles are gonna come and hit you and stuff like that. So it's really
Mhm.
making you remember that. And
Mhm.
teamwork makes the
Mhm.
dream work.
And you guys gotta remember the sun is exalted in Aries. So when we have the sun go to this area, the head, the first house, we could get really blinded with ourself and forget everybody, yo. Sometimes Aries, they think they are the spark, but they forget there's the rest of the zodiac wheel cycle to go through.
Yep. Yep.
This is what leads to them going into war, destroying everybody. And this is
Yep.
why Saturn is it falls in Aries, because Saturn and Capricorn, they don't fuck with the way Aries approach things from their egotistical Martian, my will, my desires type of perspective.
Exactly. The single-minded type thing. Kind of going off of what I was
Mhm.
just saying, how they're so collective looking at all of these species, while Aries is very direct energy where you can't
Mhm.
even predict it. It's giving birth to new things. Oh, Aries coming, Capricorn's like, uh, I already had set up this plan, this blueprint, and Aries gonna come in and do some new shit. It's gonna go and spark some other shit, or start causing friction with the blueprint that we had already had, that we know that it's tried and true, and then Aries comes to war with it and shit like that. So
And
definitely
this
has
is
that
the whole
energy.
this is the whole story about Jesus and the Catholic Church not fucking with him, because Jesus is all about teaching, letting people express themselves, become their own light, and the Catholic Church, being Capricorn, the 10th house, did not fuck with Aries like that,
They
yo.
were like,
Did
nah,
not fuck
nah,
with.
you're trying to start this new shit. We have this blueprint, this tried and
Mhm,
true blueprint. Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
mhm, 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 mhm,
Yeah, real talk.
mhm,
Yeah, that full moon definitely very. I think it's very important for us to not neglect the individual. This is really where it all starts. And when you account and understand the individual, you know what you want. You don't the indecisive energy of Libra doesn't hit you the same. It's like way more of a
This way,
blend.
this
Mm,
is where Aries come in to tweak it a little bit. You don't have to be so indecisive. This is why Libras, they could get inspired how direct, how sure Aries are, yo.
exactly. And then it could be like the Libra energy. Oh, we can help. Or I see that you have
Mm-hmm.
this desire. This is where I can come in and provide the balance. Oh, you have a lot of this energy. I see that you need this energy. So let's come and spark this energy. This is how it's going to play out if you are on the right side and if you're channeling this energy in a
Mm,
positive manner. Otherwise, you'll end up fighting other people's battles, like what I was saying
mm,
before. Those esoteric contracts that you had signed, those esoteric diplomatic promises. You were gonna give your marry off your firstborn, aka your first idea and thought off to this feeling and emotion, and then some new feeling and emotion had came about, and you're like, oh damn, I could have connected with that and all of that
yo,
real shit.
that's crazy the way you're describing it, because that's the story of Abraham and his two wives, Sarah and Hagar. He was still supposed to stick with his first emotion, feeling Hagar, but then he got distracted, met Sarah, and that's the birth of Ishmael
And
versus the
Ishmael, yeah,
and versus the real son whose name means the gift, Isaac. And
Isaac.
Isaac was the chosen one, and Ishmael was supposed to be to come the father of the Arabs because he went and got lost in the desert.
Yep,
And
yep.
Isaac was supposed to be the father of the Jews and so on and so forth.
Yo,
Mhm.
that yeah, that's real and that's crazy. Um,
That's deep.
and that is deep. He had already signed, yeah, those esoteric, and she couldn't even bear him children in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Because
he was looking
God
for that
promised
balance.
him. God promised him, but then he went and cheated.
Yeah, then he went and yeah, got lost. Yeah, real
Mhm.
talk. And then just like what I was saying with the moon and Libra, it can really make you blind to people's ill intentions and really give you those rose colored um, glasses. And when you're in Aries season, you're going to war. It always starts out with war. It always starts out with you having to fight for your position to some degree. You having a desire, you wanting something. That's the beginning of any wheel starting to turn. It's that inner spark, that
Mhm.
desire that really sparks it up. And if
Mhm.
your relationships, and if you're really blind to those external influences, or you follow blindly or gullible or really open to this external energy and accepting and shaking hands with all of these other energies, it's quick to have either that image disregarded or distorted, where you start seeing yourself as something else, where you start, and this is going on with the taking away of the eyes too. So it's like it can't be just a plain vision or I want this type deal. It has to be a desire. It has to be something that really goes down and hits you um, to the core. And this has to be honored and respected when you're trying to create balance in relationships. And if it's not, man, you're going to war for someone else's battle, and you're gonna come back with war wounds and all of that type of stuff, but no added balance, no add. You're just gonna be upset. You're just gonna be butthurt um, off of that
Mhm.
energy. So be careful with that full moon energy.
And this is the full moon that's gonna one of the most important pieces of this year. Just like how the we had the sun going to Aries, the beginning of this cycle. This is the first full moon of this entire year, basically.
Yeah, yeah, basically really setting that tone. Yeah, it's really asking you to sign these esoteric contracts, starting you off with respect yourself and your desires, uh and then your relationships will start to reflect that. If once you start respecting yourself and who you are, and start knowing who you are and having that confidence and that knowledge in it, that knowledge of self,
Mhm.
um all of that stuff, and that's the Aries Libra axis. That's how they bring out the best of each other. Yeah, really bringing that unity.
Mhm.
hmm and then yeah, after all of this full moon energy, the moon on Monday is going to be moving into Scorpio, which is going to make it conjunct the south node opposite the north node. How do you think that energy is going to hit?
That's crazy. On Monday, we're gonna have Scorpio, where the moon is debilitated in Scorpio. So this is a great day to sit back, rest, relax, so you could actually fully sit back and react to all these fixated emotions. That these were vulnerabilities, your fixated emotions, your desires, everything they keep behind the scene for the sake of transformation and take power and control Pluto, but so also for the sake of purifying your desires to find this one desires that you want to lock in fully, so you could go into Sagittarius and start to give meaning and reasoning to these things. But before we go there, the moon got to conjunct the south node for us to confirm what we need to let go of. And you guys gonna notice we've been hitting that south node conjunctions over and over again, really allowing us to become more aware of the vulnerabilities that we need to let go and things of that nature. So this is a confirmation for you to go and let go of the everything behind the scene, so you can move forward with the exaltation of the sun, Aries, which in conjunct Scorpio, which sometimes make us feel like we don't know what we want to give birth to based upon our true desires.
Yo, that is some real shit, and I'm starting to notice with that axis of the south and north node, where we're really starting, and just the vibe of everybody on the planet, where it's like they're really everybody's in that mode where they see the darkness of the world, and they're kind of understanding it's like ew, the world's icky, the world needs to detox, it needs to cleanse, all of that Scorpio energy needs to be reborn. And then they're
Mhm.
seeing what needs to be done, the work that needs to be done to actually bring this about, the values that they need to uphold, that actually needs is going to start bringing this out. So it's crazy how you see that axis. And yeah, with the moon passing over there, it's really and then
Mhm.
coming off of the full moon in Libra, even being
Mhm.
Aries season, where you sparking this desire, and then Libra, you're making that emotional partnership where you're trying to balance either with other people in your surroundings. As it goes into Scorpio, it's like that
Mhm.
check of, okay, if you planted the right seeds, it's like, does this desire that you went had created this marriage to try and balance now go internal with that? Does that really hit you? Can that hold? And is that in your safe spot, or is it bringing out your insecurities? So you're right. On Monday, and with the moon in Scorpio, you're going to see how you handled, or what seeds you had planted from that full moon, and that had resulted from that full moon, by how you emotionally feel deep inside. You know, are you a little bit more emotionally secure? Then you had made the right decisions. When you start to notice that you're starting to feel a little bit more vulnerable and exposed, then you had known that and then it's all tying back to your past with the South Node. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And then Uranus is conjuncting Mercury in Taurus. So Mercury is advancing further into Taurus, lighting on Uranus. How do you think this energy is gonna hit?
Well, Mercury and Uranus are quite similar because they all deal with like thinking,
Air.
knowledge, yeah, technology, but on like much more a mental level. I think like Uranus is almost us getting this high voltage uh power up for our way of thinking to electrify us to go into a whole new dimension of thinking, even though it does not make sense, because the whole point is really to push us further in our way of approaching this material realm, which is Taurus, the fixated nature of terra firma. So we could give it like this extra shock. We could give it this extra aspect of technology to make it more like a science tech type of world in a sense, not this old outdated indigenous reality in a sense.
Yeah, real talk. With Uranus and Mercury, it feels like it's crazy how Uranus is the fool in tarot, but I feel like you have to kind of dive into the full energy to get those higher levels of knowledge. You know, it's like, whereas the Mercury is everything that's around. That's the Gemini energy. You're asking 1,000 questions, and then you're accumulating your knowledge. But Uranus is more like you jumped into this new situation, And because of this new, unique, weird situation, now you have this knowledge that you didn't have before, that you can now fixate on, and that you understand. You have created an air bubble by going through a different type of experience. So it's very just like what you're saying. Yeah, it's like how Uranus is that higher level of stuff, and then yeah, so all surrounding Taurus. So it's
Mhm.
like I bet we're gonna be talking about stock markets, all of this type of stuff, especially with that going on, and it's kind of and gonna include all of us. What's it called? Fucking
Metaverse.
not even just metaverse, but yeah, but Elon Musk and
Yeah, yeah,
Twitter,
yeah,
how
yeah.
he just bought like 9% of Twitter, and
Mm-hmm.
how all of that's going on with Mercury, the communication and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, and
Mm-hmm.
how and that's changing the value of things, and then how we
Yeah.
all make money.
You could see Elon Musk as him being the creator of Tesla, this next technology, him representing Uranus, and then him seeing Twitter representation as a Mercury, this new format of communication. He's like thinking, how far can I take this? What can I add this to my SpaceX, to Tesla? How can I combine all this?
Real talk. And he probably foresees how this is fucking up the money, how this is gonna fuck up the bag before. So it's like we have to stabilize this means of communication, these means of channeling these higher thoughts, not necessarily for the just the sake of free speech, but for the sake of the bag. He's like, y'all finna fuck up my money or economic opportunity in itself, the stability of the economy, because that's where it all starts. If we didn't have Facebook, Twitter, and all of these type of stuff, then we wouldn't be have these opportunities to be manipulated and for us to vote for this motherfucker based off of these ideas, for these things to start coming about and stuff like that. So definitely sees how being on that level is gonna help
Mm-hmm.
reestablish value and security. So man, if you're in that space where you don't know what to work on, or you're not too sure what your talents are, or where value is had, where you can find stability, really keep your ears open on Monday. Really peep the conversations that happen on Monday, and the downloads and the information that presents itself to you on
Mm-hmm.
Monday. It's really going to key you into what you need to work on, what is maybe more slow and steady, more of a progression, but you need that to be there. And then because it's also slow, and Uranus is that fast type of stuff, that fast energy. Mercury itself is fast too. It's going all over the place. So it's letting you
Yeah.
know uh, in a very hyperactive way. What I look at like it's a project, a slow, diligent, quality project. But with the Mercury there, is you're going into the details, aka say you're building a birdhouse, or just something custom, where
Mm-hmm.
it's something that takes a while to do, and this is the really the value of it. With Mercury and Uranus going in, it's like scanning all of the details and the little components of the simple process that you are going, but giving you a better understanding of where this value had come from, and all of the information surrounding the hard physical work, and how it's bringing that stability, how to communicate this value. You'll probably be able to explain your self-worth to other people a little bit better. Explain the things that you have and where the value of them comes way better with these alignments. And yeah, not seeming like a
And
funked
for you
out.
guys, so it's very important for us to have a way to direct that energy into something productive
Yeah,
that we value. If you don't have something productive to do or to utilize this energy, you might feel highly nervous. You might start having ADHDs. You might have some nervous system complications. You might find it very hard to ground yourself in physical reality. But
yeah,
if you been working on a project, I feel like Uranus conjunctive Mercury is gonna give you the power boost to really push your mind into areas of thinking that other people have not been there before.
Real talk, and also the sensuality, maybe understanding the physical sensations of things that you have been going into, like exactly like what you're right, like what you've been working in, and the energy that's been putting into that, really with the sensuality aspect of Taurus, really helping you organize these things in your mind, aka what you had felt and what you had seen, and you hand dealing with these things, you're going to be able to really process these things way better, aka things that had value before that don't anymore, that Uranus went and revolutionized and all of that stuff. You're going to be able to see that a hell of a lot more.
Expect a lot of inventive ideas and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Real talk. And then we have Saturn, um or Uranus and Mercury and Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So yeah, Mercury's
Mm-hmm.
coming into a square with Saturn in
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius too, which is very interesting because I think Mercury is exalted or something in Aquarius, but it's a fellow air sign, so
Yeah.
Mercury
Mm-hmm.
has a better time dealing with Aquarian energy. But then coming with that
Mm-hmm.
square, I feel like it helps give that balance. And then Saturn, I bet Saturn will fuck with Taurus a little bit better
Based on the
too, because it's about
stability. Mm-hmm.
stability, relating with Earth. So it's kind of like these two
Mm-hmm.
energies that are in different homes linking up with each other. Foreign exchange students. Foreign exchange
That's
students
the
coming and talking about
perfect,
Allah, talking
perfect
shit
way
about
to
each other's
describe.
parents. Be like, your parents be doing all of this shit, right? And be like, yeah, I know. All of that type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mercury is
13. Yeah.
Mercury is like Hercules. It likes to think and likes to move fast and likes to look at this, that, and that. But while it's in Taurus, it's almost like it gotta move around and terra firma. It can't flies and look at the air thoughts and things of that nature. But with that square to Saturn, it's seeing its big brother that looks up, always looks to it. Aquarius, but Saturn is there. But Saturn fucks with Taurus, so they're having this new exchange of ideas between Earth and air, yo.
For sure. And I could see how it's funny how before you were talking about like anxiety with Mercury. I can see how this alignment could create anxiety because Saturn and Aquarius is maybe not super fast, but it's more about progressing forward and things moving into a new way, and then you really collectively thinking about everything and having a real wealth of knowledge. And Saturn's wanting you to do that to create stability. So these things may feel a little bit slower to do, to
Mm,
move ahead because you're trying to do it
yeah.
right. And then with
Mm,
Mercury, how it wants to move fast, and it being in Taurus, it's kind of like you can see
mm,
that square where as your mind's on the value and the things that you need to be working on, but Saturn, the world, and what's practical is really asking you to move forward, really asking you to push
mm,
things forward within that respect, and to consider all of these people and all of this information when you're trying to disseminate the information that is physical within you. So it's like that challenge, and it could be a little bit heightening where it's like you need to get this done, but it's like, but I'm doing this, but reality is saying that you need this energy. Like, but I'm working on this. So
mhm, mhm,
definitely take it with a grain of salt, and be patient with yourself, and put in the work that is going to really pan out. You can't really control the world at large like that, especially with Saturn in Aquarius. Reality is
mhm,
so intertangled with your associations and how you interact with other people at large. So as other people are getting involved, understand that there's a lot less that you have full control over within those type of avenues. So don't take your mind away off of the work that you're putting in now, and
mhm,
really understanding and mentally organizing value in a beneficial way
mhm,
for yourself.
Just to learn how to correlate your mind, your way of thinking, for the sake of Grandpa Saturn, dealing with the whole collective. Essentially, not be selfish or come to your train of thought, but think about what can I do for the overall, and that will
Yeah.
help you control that square, that tension between Saturn and in Aquarius, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saturn
And
Aquarius is like teamwork. Yeah.
teamwork makes the dream work is something that is huge. Saturn and Aquarius, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And then yeah, with the moon in Scorpio, it's gonna try and Neptune and Jupiter and Pisces. How do you think that energy? We already kind of had that alignment last week, I believe, but yeah, coming on it again after a full moon. How do you think this is gonna hit
Mm,
us?
this is essentially us diving deeper and deeper into our dreams and illusions, our faith system. Neptune is all about mysticism, spirituality, all those la things that deal with the reality. A lot of people like to describe Neptune as the highest. As the higher octave of Venus. Venus is
Mm-hmm.
regular love, appreciation. Neptune is like love that transcend physical reality. And Jupiter there, Jupiter is like, yo, I see my dreams and illusion, my spirituality. Neptune, and I know Jupiter, my third eye, been going through this by seeing the dreams world, allowing me to extract knowledge and wisdom. When I hit this super conjunction with Neptune, I could dream so fucking big that it does not have to make sense, or it does not have to work really till the sun goes in Taurus and hits those late degrees with the north node. So right now, let me enjoy, dive deep with all my dreams and illusion. But with the trying to south node to Scorpio, I gotta filter out all the vulnerabilities that deals
Mm-hmm.
with me moving forward when it comes to my dreams and illusion, and me learning more, Jupiter expanding more, because all those, we have to realize all those south node alignments and aspects are really forcing us to leave a lot of vulnerabilities behind us, preventing us from moving forward. The most clear form of water, the most fluid, clean water, essentially.
Real talk, and that's like the positive energy of that energy. I can see the negative, how
Mm,
Scorpio diving into your deep and insecurities is going to trigger the escapism of Pisces, of you wanting to run away from these things, so it's like you want to be in that dream as big as you can, and the moon and Scorpio may maybe expose you to the source of what are these things, the vulnerability that made you even dream about this in the first place, since the South Node is also there too, and just your vulnerabilities in general, and make you
mhm,
confront with that detox period. But with the trine in Pisces, I feel like if you're not good with that energy, it'll help you with that escapism. Help you with Scorpio, with the energy of the disconnect and the not care, and then the Pisces and the
mhm,
escapism.
mhm,
That's some energy
mhm,
that you can really start to accelerate and then run away from your past, your vulnerabilities, and what's deep. That is really giving you all the information you need on your dreams
mhm,
and what you're
mhm,
trying to expand and where that stuff actually came from. So you don't want to get too deep
mhm,
into that energy and let your vulnerabilities become so overwhelming, feel like you can be seen so much that you trigger that escapism with the Pisces
mhm.
energy.
And a lot of things CJ was saying is 100% true. A lot of famous artists, even artists that committed their own death or by accident killed themselves, have a lot of Jupiter, Neptune related alignments and things of that nature, like Amy Winehouse and things of that nature. A lot of them, even though they're artists, they reach these further realms of reality that allow them to bring some next things into reality. A lot of them, they want to escape reality. Why do you think they make music and things of that nature? To make you guys escape reality. Why do you, when people tell you I love this music, why? Because it makes me escape physical reality. But a lot of people don't understand. Right after Neptune, what do we have? Pluto. So sometimes that escapism of reality could lead you towards your death.
Yep. Real shit, man. Real shit. Even you saying that reminded me of Michael Jackson. I think he was a Pisces. He was either a Pisces or a Pisces moon. And oh shit, The tarot card for Pisces is the moon, and then the moon walk. Oh shit, that's crazy.
Um,
But you're
bro,
you're very right. All the goats were Pisces with that musician shit, and that's really what it was. They could get
organic.
onto that level emotionally with you or help you escape.
And you see them as completely weird. For example, Prince. A lot of people looked at him as a weirdo. Yo, this guy has his hair is sparkly. He wears makeup. He's
He's
this
wearing
light skinned
blouses and
guy.
shit like that.
Like, oh, that's what we're talking about Neptune and Jupiter, because Neptune is a realm that is very hard to understand with your own fucking eye. Yo. When people talk about angels, demons, and things of that, ancestors, think about Neptune.
Yeah,
But be
real
careful.
talk.
Be careful when you get into Neptune, because right after Neptune there's Pluto.
Yeah, it's Pluto, and then that's the barrier where you get confused. It's interesting. Once you get into there, you have to understand your belief systems and all of the water that you had accumulated. That type of energy. So once you come to Pluto, where it's the final judgment, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have at least have some wits about you when you're going through Neptune, not be too confused, because then you don't understand
Mm-hmm.
yourself and you don't know what you're gonna need to let go and transform
Mm-hmm.
once you come up to Pluto. So yeah, don't play
And
with
this
Pluto.
is why, exactly, this is why you guys need to keep track of the different spheres of the Kabbalah, which is astrology, and know how to categorize your thoughts and feeling. Put it in Mars, put your feelings in Jupiter, and so on and so forth. You need to learn how to keep track of yourself, or you might end up climbing the tree of life so far you might kill yourself. So the point to learn how to jump from one sphere to another sphere to another sphere, so you could maneuver your way better and not end up in one area stuck. This is where you could actually die.
Exactly. I call it separating the rainbow. Literally understanding all of your colors, all of your different aspects. All together, it's gonna be dark, mucky, and you're not gonna understand one emotion from another one. They all look the same. They all look like they come. But then when you separate the rainbow, it's like okay, you understand how this is making me feel. You understand how this is affecting my life. Yeah, wholeheartedly, for sure. And then the sun is gonna start cusping Taurus. So yeah, we're getting closer to Taurus season. Starting to close out this Aries energy, progressing into a more practicalizing it. We had this vision, but now we need something to sustain it. We need some earth, some practicality, some stability to sustain this village. AKA, we need to start putting in that work. Either and we receive that stability, and we make the friendships and relationships to get that stability, or we go out and work and roll up our sleeves to get that stability. So we're really in that cusp, that transition stage of us imagining this idea and really coming together, understanding our desires, understanding our passion, and diving into that, exerting out that energy. And then coming into Taurus, we're really grounding it and really making it into something practical, really turning it into something that's tangible, something that's physical. It's not just a desire that's floating out. It's not just an idea that's anymore now, or we're touching it. It's getting cooking. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. And then on Tuesday, the moon is going to move into Sagittarius, which is gonna in conjunct Uranus and Mercury and the North Node um in Taurus. How do you think this energy is going to hit us?
So this is us completing what we gave birth to in the new moon in Aries, because this is allowing us to view the fire element from three different perspectives. The new moon in Aries allowing us to initiate the cardinal flame to burn through reality, and then we had that fixed the moon going to Leo, which allows us to fixate on that vision and imagination and express it on the stage. And then when we're hitting the moon in Sagittarius, this is us completing this fire triume, which is going to allow us to extract the knowledge, the wisdom, but also to understand the journey of this whole new self that we give birth to. but the in conjunction with Uranus and Mercury and the North Node in Taurus is really checking on that new self. Is it practical? Is it making sense? Is it matching your values? Because a lot of us sometimes we give birth to new personalities that does not match our values. So
Mm-hmm.
this whole in conjunction is really making you understand that now right now you extracted the knowledge and wisdom of this new self, the moon in Sagittarius. But does it match your values? Is it stable, or are you completely flunked out? The flame that you gave birth to in Aries right now died out, because if Aries is the start of the spark, Leo is the fixation of the spark, Sagittarius is like the spark that's like dying off, and the knowledge and wisdom that you developed, the vision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's really yeah, putting you in that new space to solidify that. Or sounds like the connecting, because before, like when we were talking about like Taurus energy, we were talking about how you can get with Taurus, you could get lost in the physicality and the stability of it, and forget that there's a spiritual significance, aka you want the house, or you want the to look nice, the designer clothes and stuff like that. With Taurus, always wanted to look fresh, always wanted to look put together, but then forgetting that it's the looking put together and feeling stable, like you could take care of yourself, that the house, the protection, that you're going to be all right. There's meaning behind it. So I feel like that's a lot what the moon and Sag is really going to show you, the meaning behind the things that you had value, the things that you are working towards diligently, the things that you are trying to stabilize, really showing you the meaning and how you emotionally react to these things and how you emotionally respond to these things. And the optimism that you have, how you want to feel, the feelings that you are trying to ascend into. What are you doing right now, aka the mentalities that are going on in your mind with Mercury, Uranus, with how you're interacting with the world at large. How is this bringing you the stability, and then how do you feel about that and how emotionally react to that? It's really illuminating that the that energy.
It gives you the whole vibe about Moses dealing with the whole Hebrew tribe after they left Egypt. They went through that far out journey. They ran and forgot their values, or don't know what their values, and Moses reminding them of
Mm-hmm.
this new constitution, this new knowledge, and wisdom, our journey that we've been through, and things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature.
Mm-hmm. He has to get physical a little bit. He has to
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
the rock again and make it
Mm,
come out with water or something like that. And they're like, oh yeah,
oh,
that was the meaning. That's why we were
or the,
traveling. Oh yeah, that's the
yeah.
value, power of God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or they're gonna go back to the worship of this whole golden calf. Go back to this fixated material realm.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And then yeah, the moon's also going to be squaring Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter coming in. Um, with the moon in Sagittarius. How do you think this energy is gonna hit us?
Bro,
Sounds like some
that's
heavy stuff.
it's very heavy, yo, because the moon Sagittarius, you're trying to express this knowledge and wisdom and those experiences you've been through with this new self that you gave birth to in Aries. But then you get this heavy Jupiter, Neptune, and then Venus heading on his way there, heading you with all those uh emotional based on imagination type of vibes, and you a bit having the moon in Sagittarius, you want to react and express these things, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really forcing you to sit back, absorb all these dreams and illusions, and try to uh give meaning and reasoning to them, and try to like purify them, clear them, because Neptune and Jupiter could cause a lot of confusion, a lot of escapism, and the moon in Sagittarius could add a whole new sense to that. You could be one of those people who's seeing those, you start experiencing all those dreams, illusions, and escapism, and the moon in Sagittarius would make you really escape these things, since that square is creating that tension because you don't understand what the fuck is going on.
It'll make you justify it. And you'll probably justify it based off your spirituality and how amazing it's making you feel, and all of that type of shit. Really make you justify that escapism energy. For sure, for
Mhm,
sure.
mhm, mhm. Top alcoholics, they have a lot of Sagittarius energies.
Yeah. Oh, Sagittarius and Pisces. I was even thinking of Kendrick. It was blowing my mind because I didn't know he was a Gemini sun, a Pisces moon. But I was thinking swimming pools and pour up,
Okay.
drank, headshots, drank. I'm like, yo, that's
And
so that's so moon and
and
Pisces.
you know for a fact he been in that space, aka that experiences. And this is why a lot of people in medical astrology like to associate Jupiter or Sagittarius with the liver, because a lot of Sagittarius they do a lot of crazy things that damage their fucking liver or cause
Yep,
a lot of inflammation.
I
Mhm.
believe that for sure.
100%.
The experiences. Yep, for sure.
But that's how they develop their knowledge and wisdom through going through journeys and things of that nature. Mhm.
Hmm.
The most wisest Sagittarius you're gonna meet the people who went through long journeys and like learn a lot of different perspective about God, religion, and things of that nature. Stagnated Sagittarius that learn one concept about religion, they won't fully actualize the Sagittarius energy.
And it's so facts. And then you can get over exalted. And I see it like with people with those heavy Jupiter or Sagittarius energy say they grew up around Christianity all of their life and they were just brought around and didn't have the multiple views. You can see the big head come about and the self-righteousness come about off of the experience that they did have because it wasn't given the opportunity to broaden and to get these outside perspectives and stuff like that. Remember, Jupiter's a gas giant. This is where you can get the big
Mm.
head. This is you get that hova, that above thou type thing. My spirituality is better than everybody else's spirituality.
Mhm.
Or I understand, I see things at a
Or
bigger perspective than
mhm.
everybody else.
Or
But
you're
if
the
you
Pope
haven't,
and you think I am the Father.
that's
Eh,
literally it. That's literally it. I am the
all I guarantee you, all popes they have some heavy Jupiter alignment. They have to. They have
have to. Have to. Have to. Yeah, I have to for sure.
to. That's the only reason you walk around calling yourself I am the Father. That's it.
Real talk. Real talk. So that's literally how that energy can get. And then Pisces is asking you to settle down a little bit, and
Mm,
to see the meaning that is already there. You're already being hit with so much pre-existing feelings when you're trying to push out how you want to see things or how things should feel. You kind of lose sight or it conflicts with how things actually are and what you had already started to manifest. And I feel like that's how that square is going to start to hit, where you're going to start to emotionally react to the things that you want to expand into, but you're dealing with a lot of energy of things that you had already put into play, where this is what you want to have meaning and you want to for more understanding in this area, but you're already need understanding in this area and you already had expanded this area. So it's really asking you to dive more into there and to not let how you're emotionally reacting to what you're trying to expand take you away from, which is fine. You can go and expand into that energy, but Jupiter's in Pisces, so it's like don't get too carried away with that energy because there's already a lot that you are supposed to experience now. You're supposed to be experiencing the subconscious
mm,
mind, with Neptune there,
mm,
you're experiencing your beliefs and stuff like that. So don't be pushing too much out of that Jupiterian energy because it's really calling you to take in the Jupiterian energy that's inside.
It's Tuesday. You're supposed to take action, but and Tuesday, I highly recommend you guys to chill back a little bit because it's gonna be a heavy confusion. Anything related to mutable signs colliding, this is a heavy confusion day. Do
Yeah.
not make any real decisions or nothing like that. Wait till the moon goes in Capricorn.
If you're trying to start something new, it's probably not the best. If you're trying to sustain something
Mm,
that's already been there, it's probably not the best. More of that
mm,
transitionatory energy, more of helping you
Mm.
understand what you need to do to go into the next phase of what you're trying to start or give strength to.
We're not gonna have Jupiter conjunct and Neptune till like almost like another 100 years, because it takes Jupiter like damn near 12 years to go through the entire zodiac wheel. So really allow God or the universe to throw at you all type of intuitive dreams, illusions, imagination. Just sit back, absorb as much as you can, and then I promise you, when the moon goes in Capricorn, you can take actions after that. You just relax, relax. Don't let the ego get inflated thinking you're the father. You're not the father. It's just a little bit, just a little bit.
Real talk, real talk. Like a real world explanation or play out of that energy is aka you watching the news, you were getting flunked out, and all of the lies and illusions that is going out, and you're trying to you're emotionally reacting to this. You're trying to give meaning to this fake news story that had come out. You know, you're emotionally reacting, arguing this person. Well, if I was in this position, I would have done this or done that. You're putting all of that Jupiterian energy into something that wasn't a lie, to something that was an illusion, to something that had more components of it. So I feel like physically, that's one way that could play out. And then, yep, the moon's gonna trine Chiron. So yeah, it's gonna help you emotionally react to the wounds that you have of the past, or of what you, the aspects in you that you need to heal, and maybe even giving more purpose and meaning and reasoning to um those weak spots, and you starting to understand things a little bit more, whereas you're not a victim anymore. You're starting to understand how individuality and your individual desires is what you need to tap into to really gain back your power, and this is what's going to help you heal other people. You understanding that energy, and you not getting lost in the I am, and healing the I am energy within you. The moon and Sag, I feel, is going to with that trine, it'll really help you give meaning to that, give meaning to the wound that you have. It's like, it's not just, I'm not just damaged over here. This had happened because I had done this, because I went through this experience, and now I have knowledge, meaning, and wisdom from those experiences, and now I can go and coach that guy to go and tell him how I got this, and he doesn't have to go through that. But I'm in that situation again, I don't have to receive the same type of wound. I have the meaning and knowledge for these things.
The
Yeah.
moon in Sagittarius, this is gonna allow you to see, to fully actualize from almost like a philosophical point of view, from a biblical point of view of what happened to that original wound. What with the sun, we had the sun go through the whole Aries season, conjuncting Chiron, so it really clarify or allowed us to see the wound from a much more like a deeper perspective. And like the moon in Sagittarius is almost like you sitting on your high horse
Mm,
after going through all those experiences and understanding it, so you could create healing opportunities, by healing opportunities through knowledge, wisdom, education, higher meaning and reasons, and things of that nature.
Give you that broader perspective of how you can start bringing about that healing or around the
Mhm.
horizon. Whereas with the Chiron and Aries, it may be very, very focused, but maybe you're starting to see how that focused individual energy plays out in the long run, and seeing the big picture of all of that, and really helping you come to terms with it.
This is like a Moses seeing how Abraham went wrong, essentially.
Yeah, 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 dead ass. And then Mars, it's 3 degrees Pisces. Mars moving into Pisces, man. It's definitely some crazy energy. We're coming to the close of a lot of cycles, man, where we're really gonna start something new soon, and really coming into the full understanding of what we had already done. And with all of the, just like we were talking about with Pisces being confusion, it's either you get told lies, or you get confused or distorted of your journey and how you get here, or and how you got there, or you're coming into that full intuitive understanding, where it's like there's a whole bunch of events that happen that maybe you can't necessarily detail or describe, but you know how they brought you here. You know how they brought you to this place. With Mars and Pisces, now it's bringing your passions before you're passionate and aggressive and really catalytic about your associations and the mentalities that you're fixating on. But now you're very passionate about your dreams as you started to associate um, your passions with certain intellectual ideas. um, it helps fundamentally build your belief systems and how you interact emotionally with the world. So either you're going to be really passionate about your beliefs and spirituality, and when you're directing all of this energy to, or you're going to be really in that warring energy where you're going fighting against other people's belief systems, or you're defending your own. And that's if with Mars, say if you weren't planting the right seeds in Mars and Aquarius, then maybe you don't have the right associates that are around you, and the right social group that help you fixate your mind on specific ideas to help facilitate you. So now when you're going into Pisces, you don't have to fight for your beliefs because you had already surrounded yourself with like-minded associates that aren't going to antagonize with you. But if you've been neglecting the individual, like with Aquarius, ask for sometimes and put what's most logical for the collective. And moving into Pisces, there's not going to be as much direction within that, and you're probably going to have to end up defending your beliefs against other associations, or you really being aggressive and passionate, or forceful with your beliefs, making other people, you have to feel this way too, or really trying to make people feel the way that you feel in an aggressive manner. It's like you have to feel this way that I feel, instead of you had doing the work before and you just expressing yourself, and they relate, they can see that energy within you and be like, oh yeah, I understand how you feel. I feel that way too, type deal, instead of that forceful energy. So watch about 3 degrees into Pisces, you may start to
Mm,
feel that need to forcefully make people see your beliefs, and this manifests a whole bunch of different ways, aka like with the spiritual community, you're trying to meditate, you're trying to get into all of that, and the niggas is telling you, oh, meditation's stupid, or saying whatever type of dumb shit. You
mhm,
don't let that agitate you. You don't feel like you have to go and fight for these things because of the seeds that you had planted before.
mhm,
And you
mhm.
won't fall for those baits. And you're not going to be fighting for your faith like that. You're not going to be fighting to defend like that. You're only going to be sharing your passions and fighting with
Yeah.
like-minded individuals.
This is essentially us fighting for our dreams and illusions. This will give you this sense of energy of being a murderer, essentially, and not a murderer, but people who die for their belief system and things of that
A
nature. If
martyr.
you Mario, yeah, you push too much. This is why Mars and Pisces is more of a Floyd Mayweather fighting style. Like you don't know how to flow, head, go back, jump around a little bit, get a point, get hit, and so on and so forth. Because it's much more elusive in nature
Yeah.
versus Mars and Aquarius. Mars and Aquarius is more like Muhammad Ali. Be quick, fast, right in front of you, ain't going nowhere type of fighting style. So, but if you did not have the right structure with the people you're building with Capricorn and Aquarius, then you don't know what you're gonna be fighting for when it comes to Mars and Pisces. And Mars and Pisces, you're gonna be fighting for some things that you may not even believe in. So you better have been confirming all the stuff you've been believing in since the sun went into Pisces, and then
Yeah.
Jupiter went into Pisces, and then Mercury went into Pisces. You don't be one of those people who are fighting for lava lands
Yeah, man.
for nothing.
Yeah, for sure. And then even Pisces, or the 12th house, represents hidden enemies. So with
Mm,
Mars going into there, you may start seeing someone that was an enemy or an hater or had energy that was antagonistic to you. Now you can start to feel it. And now you're starting to go with that. It's starting to be revealed, and starting to go head to head and start seeing that aggressive energy of those hidden enemies, of those people that secretly um conspire to make you feel a different way than what you originally want.
100%,
Mhm.
100%. This is why the 12th house is also the house of like self undoings and things of that nature. You gotta undo everything that you did to yourself based upon accumulation in this lifetime and your past lifetimes too.
Yep.
Like, a lot of your close friends might have been people you killed in your past life, or they might be right now with secret enemies that you might need to deal with right now. But it's not only secret enemies, secret admirers too.
That person who's fucking up your life right now, they probably been fucking it up across multiple lifetimes, man. Real talk. This is not the first time.
It was, and you probably recognize it subconsciously too.
Yep. Dead ass.
Like Mars is gonna be the time where you're gonna be Mars moving to 3 degree. This is where you're gonna be. I'm ready to swing back, yo.
Yep. Yep.
But I recommend for you to swing based on subconscious level. Like it doesn't have to be like you could approach it from a much more passive aggressive. It doesn't have to be direct like Aquarius.
Attack with your state of being, with your emotional state of being, because when you're in that, that's how you can really attack people. And now you're just like oral attacking, the accumulative
Mhm.
energy starting to attack. So if you can enter into that state of being while they're trying to change you, trying to attack you, try to catalyze you into a different state of being, get you angry and stuff like that, but you know how to initiate and spark different states of beings. You're hard. You're working with that energy in a positive way.
Real. I think, and if you're a wizard, a sorceress, or someone who know how to use magic and things, you go like get them really lost.
Yeah.
Instead of you receiving the negative end, it actually will backfire at them way further more than you
Where?
because they gonna believe it way more deeper too, and
Yup.
they don't know, and majority of them they don't know astrology. So who do you think is gonna win? The person who's the symbolism, or the person who's just lost in the
Just
energies?
going through it. That's fact. That's a fact.
Mhm.
Moving on to Wednesday, with the moon in the later degrees of Sag. Now it's starting to come into what, a trine with the sun in Taurus. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. As the sun's leaving Aries, moving into Taurus, the moon's creating a trine with that. So that's really helping us. I see that really helping us go into Taurus season a little bit with a fresher perspective, a more optimistic in being able to bring about our desires and
Mhm.
dreams and to work. This like okay, you're starting the journey or you're gonna start rolling up your sleeves and go. The moon's gonna help you have a positive perspective about that, or an optimistic perspective, or an expansive perspective where you can see where it can go, and where all of that goes into. So it's really helping you spark that fire, sustain that fire, or allow you to transition into that earth energy a little bit more smoother and inspired.
Much more smoother because Aries could be much more explosive, and towards
Hmm.
that fixed material may not get along with it. But with Sagittarius mutable fire, it will allow you to like solidify everything that you started in Aries, mold this like Earth kingdom castle that you want to create for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, real talk. And then it's making a sextile with Saturn, with Saturn in Aquarius, as it's leaving Aries going into Taurus. So yeah, it's creating the opportunities as you're rolling up your sleeves and you're initiating these desires. Um, it's creating the opportunity for you to have more balance with your associates, and then look with the Uranus energy being in Taurus. So Taurus is already influenced by this Aquarian energy or this social energy. So us diving into that energy and rolling up our sleeves and confronting how the social aspect in the social world is dealing with the things that we have and what has value and what makes us stable. Now we're starting to see more opportunities on how to better associate ourselves and how within the world at large and the information that's there, Aquarius, the collective mind. Now we're starting to see the practical aspects that is within that structure that we can utilize to help get us ahead in our value and the things that we're trying to build. You know, the structure's already here.
Mm,
Maybe we don't have to attach to all of it, but what's within that structure that we can really utilize to help build our own self value, and you start to see opportunities, come up within that atmosphere.
100%. Sagittarius could help us with all this Saturn energy being in Aquarius for a very long time, because we see how the government, the shadow government, utilizing this energy of control, constrictions, boundaries with the fixated air energy, controlling how we associate, network, and create groups for us. But with the moon in Sagittarius, this is us finally actualizing this new self that we gave birth to in Aries and completing this fire triume. So now we could give this new way of association, Saturn Aquarius, a color, add a sense of God in it, a sense of spirituality, a sense of expansion, making
Yeah.
sure that it's not too fixated air, but it's air that is expansive, much more colorful, much more has a sense of brightness to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. Yeah. Yeah. And then as it goes into further into Taurus, it's going to sextile Mars and Pisces. How do you think this
Mm.
that the sun in Taurus sextiling Mars and Pisces ahead us?
Mars and Pisces sextiling the Sun in Taurus. That's really preparing us to go towards that big sextile that's gonna happen with Jupiter and Neptune sextiling the Sun later on. So Mars and Pisces, this is almost I gotta fight, I gotta work, I gotta be maybe a little bit more aggressive, but the way I'm gonna approach it is much more subtle, much more subconscious, more about my state of being. So I better correlate my state of being first for to prepare to this big ass sextile. So the sun is seeing seeing your Martian energy. This guy is ready to fight. Now my awareness, my solar plexus is ready to solidify the structure that I really want to build, that I'm
Mm-hmm.
passionate on, coming from the sun in Aries.
Mm-hmm. Helping you solidify your dreams and showing you the opportunities that are
Mm,
out there for you to solidify your dreams and give you that
mm,
that boost where you have that
mm,
passion for your dreams with the Mars and Pisces, and
mm,
with the sun you see the value that you can add or the work that you could do to bring that about,
mm.
for sure.
This is why Taurus is that like the energy of Pisces, because it's much more mutable. It's what I believe. It's not fixated Scorpio of water. So further out there, I gotta transform this. But Pisces about the possibility. And when all these energies in Taurus comes in, they seeing the possibility of what you believe. Then you could
Mm-hmm.
have what you believe in.
Yep, yep, yep. Real talk. Yeah. And then, yeah, the moon, even in that day, in Wednesday, moves further into Capricorn, leaving Sag. And then it makes a sextile with the South Node in Scorpio. So, yeah, making you serious. That's where we had this alignment before, last week or something like that. But yeah, making you serious about your past insecurities or your past desires and making you understand. And then the moon's debilitated in Capricorn. So
Mm-hmm.
as it's going to the Capricorn, you can start feeling a little bit more sensitive or less less open to just pure emotional irrationality and wanting to add some type of rationality to your emotions and wanting to add some type of structure to your emotions, which may take away from you fully experiencing it. But with the sextile to the south no, it's helping you, looks like it's helping you be serious and really organize your vulnerability and what's deep within you. It's helping you bring some organization to your inner depths and your what you hold on the inside. Definitely seeing that being positive, but it may make you be too dry to certain vulnerabilities or to certain passions. Um, Whereas you're not seeing the power in the irrationality, or maybe you disregard something or feelings and emotions that didn't point towards practicality, that didn't point towards some type of stability, but is valid within itself. So you do have to be careful with that, but it's going to help you organize in a much more serious, concise, practical way of this internal world, and of your past with the self know.
100%. And like this could be very dangerous alignment in the sense that it plays out in physical reality, as like when you see these elites, those famous families and things of that nature. They have all this power, all this status, all this power and control. But when you look behind the scene, the things that hide beneath that, and some crazy ass stuff that you wish that you never knew about.
Yeah, yeah, whole bunch of skeletons in the closet for sure.
Because for you to get that far in that world, a lot of things gotta stay behind the door.
They have to, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of even yeah, creating an opportunity for you to organize that stuff.
A
Mm.
great example is the Catholic Church involvement in the Spanish Inquisition. I guess see, just imagine how many people died, how many people they died, and how they down talk what happened back then.
Yeah, yeah, like it
Like
wasn't
nothing happened.
there. It was, yeah, yeah, that's hidden. Yeah, those sad times, those dark times. You know, the dark
Yeah.
ages and all of that type of shit. Yeah, yeah, literally.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and then it's creating oh yeah, so it's trining Uranus. The moon in Capricorn is gonna start to trine Uranus, and the Mercury conjunction and that North Node type energy as the moon starts going into Capricorn, creating that trine. How do you think that's gonna hit us?
So we're emotionally becoming much more serious about this new self that we initiated in the new moon in Aries, because this is us completing the first quarter, spring, the second quarter,
Hmm.
summer, and then the third quarter, the fall. Now we're going into the winter season where we're gonna fully solidify and take this new self into this dream world, which is the one of the most important aspect of the zodiac wheel.
Yeah,
Can we take this new self to the whole collective, and the trine to the uh, Mercury, North Node, and Uranus in Taurus is just adding more confirmation to the plan that we emotionally want to act upon, because we seeing that Uranus is destroying the entire earth, we seeing the lack of stability, but we see the potential of new things that we could bring into reality. And
yeah,
Capricorns, they're business orientated, they peep games. A lot of people with Capricorn's alignment, Saturn alignment, they see where the future could go, and they are initiator of new ways of building, new plans that we could do, and things of that nature. A great example, not even a great example. I think I heard this Capricorn. I think he's a Capricorn who said that. He said, if you want to become rich or wealthy, find the place where people don't want to take responsibility in, because
wow,
the more responsibility that you could take in, the more you're gonna get paid by Saturn, the more you could handle and things of that nature. But this is what create a lot of very hard working Capricorns and things of that. Capricorns are the type of people to work their job till they die type of people.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, real talk. Yo, that's crazy where people don't want to take responsibility for that's some real shit. Cause I'm even thinking about health and how pharmaceutical companies been making all this loot because nobody wants to take accountability for their own health state of being. It has to be this person's fault or it's random. It's random. It's God. It's that's where all of these problems start coming from because they don't want to take responsibility. Yeah.
Because like Saturn is so further out there, it's like they call Saturn like the seventh planet, the seventh heaven, and you can
Yeah.
see down here you're on Earth, you gotta go through Mars, Venus, and then Jupiter. Majority of people don't even get to Jupiter.
They don't even
Expansion,
get
experience, and
there.
learning.
Yeah.
They don't even get to Jupiter, and then you tell me I gotta get into Saturn. Like Saturn is very scary to a lot of people.
For sure, for sure. Because it's serious, and that's the weight of reality that you see built up after. But once you have that solidified, your experience can be so much more smoother, so much more intact and put together, for sure. And then
Mm,
Taurus, I feel like Taurus really could hold on to that energy, really try and hold
mm,
on to that energy. So the moon in Capricorn showing you the possibilities and what you can initiate from these situations, from value being changed.
mm,
It's really helping you get into that state of being where you don't hold it at these old values, these old ways, this old stability, and giving you the opportunity to see and jump into these new ways of establishing stability and practicality within your life, and more in an easier transition than you had thought you would have. You thought you had to hold on to this energy with with Taurus, but the Capricorn is showing you well, you can have the same thing in this way, in this new way.
mm. It's almost like you're a tourist. You were building a building, a regular building, but then I think a Capricorn comes in. Is like, yeah, we got this new whole building, this new great idea, and like Taurus, you're gonna fuck with Capricorn because you like building, you like making money, but sometimes you got this great idea, but you don't know how to initiate new
Yep.
things. So the moon in Capricorn is gonna add your emotional sense to your way of thinking. Mercury, but also Uranus, this new energy of creation that we need to plug in into reality to accelerate it towards the future. You're gonna really fuck with that.
Yeah.
Taurus really fucks with Capricorn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hitting us on Wednesday. Yeah. And then moving into Thursday, the moon moving into further into Capricorn, and what it's making a square to Chiron. How do you think that
Mm.
energy is gonna hit us? The moon in Capricorn.
The moon in Capricorn squaring Chiron in Aries. So
Mm-hmm.
this is us. We always actually come towards this alignment over and over and again because it's really confirming with us that do I want to be serious and practical, or do I want to go based off my wounds? Because a lot of us wound uh, prevented us from moving forward with a lot of things. This is why it was important for the moon to hit in Capricorn, to hit the sextile with the South Node in Scorpio to make sure that we transfer these vulnerabilities and take power and control through responsibility. Saturn, so when we hit this trine with the Carya in Aries, that we ready to approach this wound I have, it does not matter anymore because Capricorn, moon in Capricorn, I'm harsh. I don't give a fuck about emotion.
Dead
take
ass.
take
Yeah.
take this moon, throw it all the way around. I don't care. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to climb that mountain to reach the end so people could describe me as the goats. And if you know anything why rappers are called the goats is because they went so further in their career.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
majority of them sitting on their Saturn energy, their their seventh heaven, and a lot of them already went through their Saturn return or multiple Saturn returns by now.
Yeah. 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 Hands down. Um,
Mm.
yeah, that's and then look at how you don't want to fight. You want to get into the wounded type energy and senses and what's it called? Since Chiron's in Aries, I bet it can push you into the lone wolf type energy because of those wounds that you had. But yeah, the moon in Capricorn is really making you, yeah, it's like don't give a fuck about that. You have to keep going. Tie up that wound real quick and get going. While you may not like that, it's going to get you through you're gonna survive the war. Whereas if you had just taken that wound, it's this arm wound, you're not really gonna die, but you had let it slow down your movement and you had attached all of these emotions to it and all of that stuff. You may not have made it and survived, but if you were all reacted to it, wrapped it up, took it seriously, and when it did that, not let your emotions get the best of you. You trying to remain what is practical off of um the wounds that you had just had. Even though it's hard and you have to grit your teeth, it's going to get you there. So that's really energy that you're going to be hit with on Thursday, where it's like um you have to put the rubbing alcohol on your own wound type shit. You're gonna have to take it. And then the moon is ruled by Cancer, so which is talking about comfort and home. So this is you really dealing with uncomfortability. The moon is uncomfortable in Capricorn, so you're already uncomfortable. So it's kind of even helping you, give you that energy, whereas you're already uncomfortable, you're already emotionally reacting to what you want to be stable, so you're already looking at comfortability like it's going to hold you back. So as you're getting this wound, you don't let yourself get too far into that Cancerian energy where you want to be comfortable, you want to it to just go away, and you're able to take it and go and continue on that mission, continue and moving forward, continue bringing out some type of practicality, regrouping and organizing things, and not just being wounded.
Yeah. A moon in Capricorn squaring Karya in Aries. That's almost like do or die. I know I'm gonna get killed, but I'm gonna do the mission. I don't give a fuck. Like
Exactly.
a lot of hitmans are Capricorns. They have a lot of Capricorn energy, like Mars and Capricorn, things of that nature.
I bet. And doing it, being able to take away their emotions and get the job done. You know what I mean? And I remember you were even telling me, that's jokes, how there's that one hitman that you found that was like, no one over 18 and no top 10 politicians and shit like that. Nigga had boundaries and restrictions on how he was going to go and assassinate. Very professional type dude. Very.
Capricorns, the type of dudes will wear a suit just to show up, just to kill you.
Dead ass. Dead ass.
Mhm,
Dead
mhm, mhm.
ass. That's that energy.
They make taking responsibility, even though it might be scary, like very beautiful, very gentleman like.
Yeah, making you wish that you could go and do that. Like they could handle a whole bunch of shit. You're like, damn, you nigga can do that. You can go through all of that and handle all of that. You want some too, and then they aspire you to reach those levels. Then it's like the goat chase, where they make you ascend to a higher level for
Mhm.
sure.
But as you get to their level, you realize, damn, I gotta be this cold hearted. I gotta
Yeah, real
go
talk.
that further away from my family, my fourth house. Damn, yo, being a Capricorn is not. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, real talk, real talk, and that shows me. And that's kind of how I would get when I think about the shadow government and all of this stuff in the world. I'm like, oh, this is all bullshit. Well, fuck all of this stuff. But then I remember that they killed and pillaged for this shit. I'm like, are you about to go and kill all of the niggas that they had killed and all of that? And it's like, I don't know. But that's how it came about. And that's the energy that they had come with. So I'm like, that's pretty hard. I don't know if I can match that exactly. But that's the energy that they had came with, the dryness to go and bring about this system, to go and bring about that structure. So it's hard if you're not willing to match that energy, or get dry and practical in some type of way. You won't be able to do it.
You
AKA,
be like,
put your emotions
mm,
aside and wrap up the wound, and be able to
mm.
keep on going. Then you won't be able to match up with that energy.
Just think about the Catholic Church sending the whole Spanish Inquisition, and then the Indians not wanting to fight back. They're
Yeah,
not willing to be as hard as these guys, and these guys came in with guns. They came up with crosses to burn them alive. Like if you to come that hard, you need to come that hard. Other way,
yeah,
it does not wouldn't work. It wouldn't
yep,
work.
yep. And they were probably way more organized and shit like that on that level, whereas the tribes may have been more divided, still into their own internal politics and all of that type of stuff, where these other niggas just came in and steamrolled.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
Yeah, and that's how
mhm.
Thursday's looking.
It's a, I'm gonna call it George Washington Day. Yeah, George Washington. He
Catch
was he's
that
a moon in
energy.
Capricorn too, and it was a moon in Capricorn too.
Yeah, that ass. That's jokes. Moving on to Friday, when the moon's in the later degrees of Capricorn, it's conjuncting Pluto. It's conjuncting Pluto. The moon conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn. How do you think this is gonna hit us?
This is basically adding more a sense of intensity to this new plan that we need to be drawn in emotionally first so we could go ahead and do the transformation, do go ahead do a power control mission. If the moon in Capricorn itself is a mission of a hitman going to kill few people, the moon conjuncting a Pluto in Capricorn, this is you almost coming in to wipe out an entire family, wipe
Yeah,
out entire history type of mission. It's a like the highest level type of mission.
real talk. Really challenging you on how serious you could be, on how these are the responsibilities, this is the reality this that you want to hold, this is your idea of stability. How bad do you want that shit? How serious are you about it, and how responsible you're going to be in terms of these the transformations that you need to do to get these things.
And like Pluto is like a Mars, but it's like the deeper end of Mars, so it
Hmm.
gets really ugly. If Mars deal with war, then Pluto is nuclear bombs.
Yep. Yep,
If
wholeheartedly.
if Mars is like fist fight, man, Pluto, man, this is me coming to smoke your entire race.
Real, real talk. So on Friday, really take heed with this energy. Like once you're passing over Pluto, this shit ain't no this shit ain't no joke. And really prepare
Mm,
yourself to especially with all of this water energy going on, um, to not to have structure for your emotions, to have purpose and drive surrounding your emotions. So when these things come about, Pisces isn't bringing you too far down into illusions and being disillusioned with reality, but
mhm,
it's helping you um you see how you want to feel, and it's helping you be seriously analyze how you're going to start to bring that stuff about, and then have that honest emotional perspective where um if you know you want stability and you look at that dream an illusion, even though it seems nice, you don't feel emotionally connected to it, you don't feel like you can go and grab it. It's kind of going to help you exposed to that type of stuff and help you prepare for any harsh hard things that's going to happen within that day, any transformation that's volatile. And once we start getting into Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, where it's collective energy, where you're dealing a lot with other people at large, so it's really going to help you emotionally react to your social status and how things are going on within the world, and be able to emotionally react, aka have your GPS, your emotions showing you where you are within this area and how you are interacting with the world at large, and what your role is to help cushion and show you the transformations that is needed um,
mhm,
to bring about the stability to your
mhm,
reputation and how you go
mhm,
about in the world. It's connecting you to that esoteric GPS. So really take heed to how you feel and how things are making you emotionally react, and how things are making you emotionally react to these idea of stability, to idea of accepting responsibility. Know that if there's something that you're really holding out against, or there's a feeling that you really don't want to be responsible for or take accountability for, you best clear that shit up by Friday. You best clear that shit up by Friday, and come to terms with it. Be serious with it. Understand that you need discipline within your life, and not everything can be peachy clean and all of that, because Pluto will take it away for you. And it will create a new structure whether you like it or not. And then the sextile to Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune in Pisces. This is where this is really serious energy where you really can manifest a nightmare. Where if you could really start putting structure around dreams and illusions, and or you're trying to build a platform of stable thing within mist, and it's really going to connect you
Mm,
with all of that because you'll be able to see it. It'll help you give that sight, be like, oh, I can't build stability around this idea, or around this image, that this doesn't hold up, that this isn't real, that this isn't real. That's a bunch of stuff that you're going to see on Friday. On Friday you're going to find out what's real and what's not real.
mm,
Real shit, and how you can bring down what is not real that can be real, and how to bring that down, and what you need to do, what you need to sacrifice, and what you need to put up to be
mm,
able to bring those things down. It's going to show you those opportunities. Oh, this is your dream. Oh, this is what you want. This is what you want to create balance. This is what you want to expand into with Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune, all of that energy. This is the responsibility weight that you have to take on, to do it. Do you want it? Do you? It's going to be there, and it's going to be able for you to grab and take it. But just know that it's coming with a heavy price, or with weight that you're gonna have to carry with it. Which you can't have your dreams any other way if you're thinking that you can remain in this light state of being where it's just all dream well. This Moon in Capricorn, Pluto conjunction is gonna show you, and it's like, no, it's not peachy clean. No, you thought you're gonna get out of this clean. No, no. Yeah, real talk. And then yeah, looking at Saturday, the moon is moving into Aquarius. And so now it's gonna make a square with Uranus and Taurus, and all of those that Uranus, all of that, the planets in Taurus. How do you think that's gonna hit us
mm.
on
So this is
Saturday?
so on Friday we reacted to the feminine side of Saturn, which is Capricorn, us wanting to receive restrictions and boundaries. This is how we're emotionally reacting. And then Saturday, which is kind of funny, Saturday ruled by Saturn, and then we're still in the sign rules also Saturn, Moon in Aquarius. So we're gonna go out and communicate and network and analyze about those restrictions and boundaries that we want to create together as a group. But we're having this whole square to Uranus in Taurus, reminding us about this whole new stability, this whole new
Yeah.
originality, this whole new ways of accelerating reality that we need to go through with Uranus and Taurus, which is very important since the moon in late Capricorn allows us the sextile with Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune. See the possibility, see the opportunity that will bring into reality. All right, right now when the moon goes in Aquarius, this is us moving around, communicating, talking about it, but knowing there's lack of stability on Earth, knowing there's lack of money, knowing, but we're moving forward based upon being part of the collective. We're moving based upon having an association, so we're not as worried. We're not being by ourselves, because Aquarius is a whole collective energy. And if you don't have your groups, associate properly placed, you're gonna feel so lonely, and this whole world that's turning into complete chaos and getting overwhelmed by this whole new technology and these new things, sudden things like wars and things of that nature. You can't be by
Mm-hmm.
yourself, essentially.
Yeah, real talk. Looking at how this plays out seasonally, Aquarius, just even winter time. This is after the whole transition of the sun coming up after the growing process, and Aquarius is really where you accumulate all of the knowledge from the travels that you had went before, and how things had grown, and to figure out how to progress forward. The most logical way to progress forward based up off on the information that you had collected from before. So yeah, it's exactly right. Just like what you were talking about. This is when it's really cold and you're starting to imagine or fixate in your mind about how you don't get into these situations again, and how you who to associate yourself around, so that you come into better circumstances. So this is very heavy winter type energy, winter time, when you're really trying to figure plan things out for the next phase. So yeah, if you're unemotionally or if you're not doing too well with that Aquarian energy, it's going to feel way more volatile than what it is.
Mhm.
You're not going to have as much knowledge and feel as connected to what other people think and the information that is out there. You're going to feel like you're lacking in knowledge, um, not diving into that energy.
And this moon in Aquarius is going to allow us to fully know the knowledge of what we give birth to with the new moon in Aries. Now I know who I am. Now you know how to take who you are and take it with the whole collective, which is very important to do. Could you imagine how the energy would play out in like back then in indigenous society? How if we did not work together in winter time, we would have froze to death. Buildings
It
would
would have
not
been
have got
done.
built.
Hmm.
You could in winter season we gotta be together, like we have no choice. It's created that way,
Yeah.
especially the fixated portion of the winter season. And Capricorn, if you did not decide to work with people, man, in the fixed portion of the winter season, you're done. You're not gonna survive.
Yup. And then look how we were talking about how Pisces is hidden enemies and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's like it
Mm,
literally
mm,
can lead up to that.
100%.
And then yeah, the sun's even going into 3 degrees Taurus on Saturday. So it's like we're really jumping into Taurus time and Taurus energy, and really contemplating our values. I mean, this is what we're starting to see, where our attentions are on what has value. Before we were trying to figure out this I am. Now we're really trying to sustain it and give it this I am the things that it needs, the things that it needs for it to stabilize it and really catch flame and be able to be held within this realm of reality. So it's really rolling up the sleeves. It's interesting how I look at Taurus as hard work, hard sustained work. But then I met a lot of Tauruses that are lazy.
Lizzie, I'm telling you, you 100%. I feel like it's just the Venus rulership. Once they get a certain amount of things, they start to overindulge and forget everything.
Yup,
They get
yup.
lost. They get lost in the little bit they have for a long time. Like a tourist being addicted to this burger, and holding on to it.
Yeah, real talk. And yeah, and attaching emotion to it and stuff like that to it for sure. But it's like I do still see that hard work type aspect, or that's still the theme that they play with. It's just how they handle it and whether they're willing to
Mhm.
accept that within themselves, or are they taking it from others and from the relationship and and indulging. It's the receptive side of Venus. So if you give it, they'll take it. They'll take it for sure.
Mhm.
So it's like
Mhm.
it's dealing with that. But do they have that? And this is where you're starting to deal with self-worth, those ideas, and your talents,
Mhm.
and all of that stuff. If you don't take heed to that, you won't be able to dive into that receptive Venus energy for too long. And that's what the axis Taurus has to deal with. Whereas they want to receive, and that's the energy that they're in. They want to receive Venus, these balance, love, and all of that energy. But to go out and do it, well, yeah, at least you're gonna see a way. You're gonna see the way, and that's going to be in front of your eyes. With the sun in Taurus, so try not to be too lazy and let the world give it to you. But we're on Earth. Some say Earth is even ruled by Taurus, or that it has that type of energy. This
Mhm.
whole school of thought that says that. But it's dealing with the abundance, especially coming off of, like, say, with birth, with babies. As soon as they're born, boom, primordial force, born. What do they need after they're born? They need the tits, they need the teeth, they need some titty juice, they need
Mm,
to receive the feminine side of Venus. Within this reality, you do get that, but then you can get lost, and look how vulnerable a baby is within that state. So while you do need the food and you do need to consume, it would be nice for you to not be as vulnerable. You're not a baby anymore, you know. So it's like, as you going with that energy, you have to learn how to sustain this stuff with yourself, and that's what the child's gonna have to learn
mm,
later on, how they're gonna have to go and get the food themselves, and learn how to take care of themselves, and give themselves the ability to sustain themselves, to sustain into to practicality. This is where your mind's going to be at, on the bag, on the bags, where your mind's going to be at.
mm,
This is you, I am. Now you're going to show it, or now we're going to see it, or now you're going to
mm.
make this who you are.
If you guys ever wondered why a lot of indigenous society, like the Indians, they seem like other people, they worship cows and things of that nature, is they don't worship cows, but they went through this whole energy that we're talking about. They saw how valuable this animal is and what it helped them do. The cow, the bull, they allow them to farm. It gives them milk and things of that nature. So you
Mm-hmm.
could see how it will lead to the concept of worshiping it, even though they would not describe it like that. That's more of a European logical mindset. It's more of an appreciation of the value of this Taurus like animal,
Yeah.
the stability it brings to the family. A lot of people back then, if you had so many cows, so many bulls, you were rich.
You were rich, yeah, and you were able to plow the fields. Like, they were your tools. They were, they were your value. They were your property. They You could get milk from them. So it's not like, just slaughtering for the meat,
Yeah.
just one and done thing. This thing had value
Mhm.
that excelled. So it really did encapsulate that Taurus
Mhm.
energy, for sure.
Animals were our first form of commodities, like money. That would lead to money essentially. We used to trade animals like crypto coins, stocks market, same
Yeah,
thing.
I want to marry your daughter. I'll give you a couple goats, and it's like, shit, nigga. I got the daughter. It's literally how it was.
Yeah, like a simple mindset too.
Mm-hmm. And it's real, because that's just cutting out the middleman. While you're doing it for money, now you're gonna go and go and buy something that was made by an animal, made from an animal. So it's like, um, it's still like that, just with a whole bunch of in between.
You could see it till this day how people would pay more money for higher quality animals to get butchered based upon their meat, because the better the animal is growing, the most likely the quality is the meat is gonna be higher.
Yeah.
So a lot of people still value animals till this day. It's not
Yep.
that our society made it appear like the middleman took completely over.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Looking at, and then that Saturday, that's the energy that's going on Saturday. Looking at Sunday, as the moon's moving into the later degrees of Aquarius, it meets with Saturn in Aquarius, which is amazing, because AKA your esoteric GPS.
Mhm.
Your esoteric GPS now was making you know, or emotionally respond to your associations and the knowledge that you had accumulated, to see what's the most practical, logical way to move forward, and how you
Mhm.
feel about these things, how you feel about these associations. It's coming into conjunction with Saturn, aka your responsibilities, and the boundaries that you have within this area, and what's practical. So you're really going to see how you feel about the world, and how you feel about the world and your social life regarding the world, and how you interact with the world at large. You're really going to figure this out on Sunday. Either you're going to start feeling more connected to your association and the information that you had, because the opportunity is there for you to emotionally connect with it better, and see the stability that it provides, and you'll be able to bring about stability and practicality, or responsibilities and hard work that you can emotionally relate to and connect to and can attach emotions to.
Mm.
um Ultimate power, where you're really guns ahead, and you have the team together, you assemble the team, and you guys are making things happen. You guys are either it be you guys are moving things forward, or you're really downloading, getting the information that you need, that connects with your emotions. So definitely a lot intellectually going on, um, being showed through your emotions about how you feel about that, how you feel about the world, and how you move about that at large, for sure.
You're gonna really approach your emotion from this high mindset of Aquarius, being very intellectual about your association, because you realizing I value Taurus, my association, because my values and my association will allow me to go through this easier path when it comes to my North Node in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus and Mercury going there also in Taurus. So I really need to fixate myself to and react towards my association. The key part is association, since we know Pluto is in 28 degrees and Capricorn, moving towards Aquarius, and it's right heading you there. It's like telling you, hey, your buddy, where's your association?
Yeah,
We gonna move to Pluto and Aquarius. Where's your association? You don't be by yourself.
dead ass. I was just about to say that Sundays for real, showing you teamwork makes the dream work, and then it's showing you the emotional responses that you have within you that is getting in the way of that, and how you feel and responding to these associations. But you're right, man. Teamwork makes the dream work, and it's going to show you the emotions that you need to correct, or
Mm-hmm.
what you need to
Mm-hmm.
and Aquarius is kind of disconnecting too, so it's kind of adding
Mm-hmm.
that air to your emotions, whereas Capricorn, you are taking away the um the what's it called, water, where you're being
Mm-hmm.
less emotional with or irrational with your emotions, and now you're being logical. You're trying to find practicality, but now you're trying to find logic on a social level, and how you can interact with people without having too much water going in there, making you irrational. You can still feel different ways about things, but this intellectual property that you guys connect on is something that's solid, and how you emotionally feel about that, at least within those ideas and within that social group, is the same, and you can really connect on that and really build and manifest something big as a team. As a
Mm-hmm.
team, it's really going to show you how, where teamwork makes the dream work, and who's your team, and what roles you guys are playing a lot on Sunday, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, and then yep, the moon in Aquarius. Well, that conjunction is making it with Saturn in Aquarius. It's gonna square Mercury and North Node in Taurus. So how do you think that square is gonna play out? You were kind of saying that,
That
or
Yeah, essentially, because this is adding the emphasis, telling you, you got these thoughts, this air realm of reality that you've been thinking about. How can I bring it, condense these atoms into physical reality? Because
mm-hmm,
Uranus is destabilizing everything, so we're seeing everything getting materialized. So can I bring in my thoughts, my air realm, and squeeze it into this terraformer? Can I
mm-hmm,
make this new reality, like almost like a futuristic sense of reality through like
yeah,
quantum mechanics and acceleration and things of that nature? You might wake up one day finding yourself inside the metaverse.
dead ass. Without choice, it's like all of a sudden there's no money, there's no job you could get, and somehow you're a stripper on the metaverse, and you're like, how did I get here? They're throwing you bitcoins at you as you're shaking your virtual booty. It's like, what is going on? Just wake up one day, all because you associated with the wrong people. you joined the wrong team.
100%. Yeah, 100%. This is why your associates need to fulfill different areas of life for you, but also for yourself too, since they're gonna provide. You guys supposed to work through. Not you guys not supposed to do the same things necessarily, but if you guys cover different fields of reality, you guys could bring a whole different concept of like teamwork, make the dream work.
Yeah. Yeah, really covering all areas. And I bet this is what Pluto coming into the later degrees of Capricorn is getting us to master and to truly understand the roles, the individual roles that we play within society, getting us to as we move this forward and as we're rebelling against all the ideas that we each understand our role. That whether you're protecting the old, you're trying to bring in something new, you know your role. And that's what Pluto progressing into Aquarius is really showing us.
And you don't want Pluto to take power and control for you. No, trust me.
Oh,
You guys see how the full moon can get people killed
yeah.
from Capricorn into Aquarius. No, 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 no. Just imagine it right there. Put yourself in it, and then walk back, and then remodel your current life, your current model, and you got time because Pluto moves very slow.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that Pluto did you dirty when Pluto moves into Aquarius. You cannot say that to me. I refuse to believe that. I
It took
refuse
its
to believe
sweet
that.
ass time doing it for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And then we gonna take the same videos, put them in clips where we've been saying the same thing over and over and over,
A
and then
lot.
you would have no choice but sit back and agree. You're gonna be like, I was lost. I was definitely lost.
Yeah. Hands down, hands down.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. And that's looking like the week. That's how the week is going to be at. So yeah, stay strong, guys. You really utilize that energy coming off of that full moon, and understand that the individual, understand that the individual has to really blend in with your partnerships, and when you're shaking hands and blending energy with other people, the main component is you and
Mhm.
what you want, and these things have to be accounted for in all your relationships, or else it's just going to start to cascade, and you're going to lose that Aries energy. You're going to dive more into that Chiron and Aries, that wound, that this is the area that I'm wounded in, instead of getting into the warrior energy of Aries and really
100%.
embodying that.
100%.
But yeah, that's the week. Check out our website, truespace.biz. If you want check out any of our services. Check out our Instagram, truespace _ for all daily esoteric information. And yeah,
Thank you guys for listening and
yeah, for
start
sure.
this year right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, peace out.
later.
All right, boom. I wasn't as bad. Still